Hi y'all, it's your girl Lauren reporting live from Cooper and Sanford at George Stevens Park here in Arlington, Texas. We are Arlington Urban out here with the community, and we're here to celebrate the culture of our people. Big ups to the whole AUME family, where it's always Arlington first.
We own the hood. If you live by it, die by it, then, man.
Okay. Prince the Culture.
All right, CJ, how are you today?
I'm great, how are you?
Good, thank you. And is there anything you want people to call you or refer to you as?
CJ works just fine.
Awesome, excuse me, I'm sorry. All right, so let's start with some background questions. Where are you from?
Arlington, Texas.
Okay, what schools did you go to?
I went to Hill Elementary, Bailey Junior High, Arlington High School, and then UTA.
Okay, nice. And you went to college, did you finish or did you major in anything? Or?
I did. I graduated in 2015. It took 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's the right way to go.
Yes.
And did advertising.
Okay, nice. So tell us a little bit about yourself or your family. Are you family oriented?
So yeah, I love my family. My dad's from Mexico. He was born and raised there. He came here illegally when he was 15 years old, but he's since got his citizenship, and it's a big part of kind of what I believe in, and is that people are here to get better. That's what life is about, and we got to give the opportunities to those that are going to take advantage of life. And then my mom. She was born and raised in Arlington, Texas, and she's just a really hardworking woman. Both of my parents, I think, have given me the good morals and a good standing. Just hardworking people that I look up to.
Nice. Do you have any siblings or anything?
I do have a sister. She lives in wherever she wants.
Yeah.
Costa Rica, Maine, Rhode Island. She was like a surfer kind of thing, and she's just free-spirited.
Nice.
Some of y'all might know her, Cirilo Ocampo, shout out.
Awesome. So how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
Okay, and you do realize you're like the youngest person that's running inside of this race.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you feel about that?
Great.
Okay. What do you think that you being younger can bring to the table?
Great. No, I think, being young has a huge, it needs to be a lot more important when it comes to politics and stuff, because as the world changes, we kind of got to adapt to it. And it's the younger generations that are kind of, adapting sooner. I have no problem. I talked with these guys earlier. I have no problem with the older generation, but I think they're not in tune with today's world as much as the younger generation is. And I think I can kind of connect the old and the young in the middle, with my age. Exactly.
Good. Awesome. So what influenced you into politics and local government?
It's a great question. Xbox Live? No. But really I started this Facebook as a clickbait kind of thing. I was going to try and stream for a little bit of extra money. I know you guys picked up on that, and I don't know if I ever saw any of the videos, but it's just a bunch of videos of me trying to get the stream to work. I never actually play any game in there. It's just like me calling my friend, hey, is this working? He's like, nah, it's still lagging. Hey, is this working? Like video after video. So it's just not good stuff. Yeah. But I made the title of the page, CJ for Arlington Mayor 2021, because I knew people would come to it. But once I did that, people started really asking me, hey, CJ, are you running for mayor? And my answer kept being no, like, are you looking at the page? But then I started thinking, if a lot of people are different ages telling me, dude, you should really do this. Like, why are you joking about it? So I kind of just took that advice and just ran with it. sometimes I do things without really thinking them through. But in this case, why not just go for it, you know?
Yeah. So speaking of your campaign, you have "I can fix that" as your slogan. What are some issues or areas in Arlington that you want to fix?
That's a great question. So I just did that because of the movie Holes, and he's like, I can fix that. And I thought it was funny, obviously. But, you know, I think we got a lot of things to fix as a community. I don't think we can really fix COVID, but I think we need to, you know, just kind of be on the same page as a community, whether we're doing masks or not masks. You know, I think we should work on the tax money stuff with the stadiums. You know, without people in there generating revenue for like alcohol sales and all this stuff, how are we going to pay for these stadiums? You know, because that's taxpayer money that at the end of the day. And then the streets, I know that we need some like infrastructure. We need to make sure that we're always going to be prepared for anything like the winter storms, pipelines, you know, all of our stuff inside the city. We just need to make sure that we're on top of everything. I know there's a lot of streets on the east side of Arlington that need to be fixed, and I'm not going to have all of the answers right away because I don't even have some of them, but I know that I'm willing to research and learn and work together with, you know, whoever's around me if I was, you know, selected to be mayor. But the hard working part is where I'm willing to get my hands dirty at any point in time. If, you know, we're at the soup kitchen, I'm serving for all 12 hours or whatever, you know, I don't want to be the guy that does the least. I want to be the guy that is working, you know, not just showing face. I personally don't even need to wear a suit or anything.
Yeah.
Like, let me just go.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I'm pretty relaxed, easy.
Nice. So speaking of the recent winter storm, how do you feel the city responded to the winter storm?
Honestly, I thought the city did really well. I'm actually a huge advocate of Jeff Williams. I grew up with him at First Baptist. Not really super close, but you know, he was always around. His son was my age, and I think Jeff's a great guy. And I think the city utilities, and I think they all did great. I was constantly updated with, you know, we needed to continue boiling water, all this stuff. And I actually have the water meter on at my house. So the guy was, you know, coming to my house, checking all this stuff. So he was even updating me with the stuff that he knew. And I just thought the city of Arlington did a phenomenal job.
Nice. And what do you think about the city's response to COVID?
I also think the city's response to COVID has been pretty awesome. You know, it's kind of a line you have to flirt. I'm always on the side of making people feel comfortable. And if that's wearing a mask, I'm going to wear a mask. If it's not wearing a mask, I'm probably going to determine whether or not I want to be in that area without a mask, or I'm just not going to be there, or I might be in the area without a mask. You know, I think it's a feel and that kind of thing, but at the same time, we can't like be arguing over this stuff, you know. We need to always be cordial with each other. People are different. People have different underlying issues, conditions, and like without speaking to someone, you're not going to know what's going on with them or even what they're thinking, you know. So I think just normal conversations with people is going to go a long way about COVID and about how they feel about it. And I think that also comes with a lot more, you know, speaking to other people about what they think and all this stuff, because I'm big on like listening to people's ideas and stuff. You know, I don't think that mine are always the greatest, and that's for damn sure the truth. Like, you know,
yeah.
But
nice. All right, and so let's see. Sorry. How do you think about the new police chief, Al Jones, and his job so far in office?
No idea who that is.
Yeah.
But sounds like a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't vouch for him, but yeah, no idea who that is.
So outside of politics, what are some of your hobbies?
That's a great question too. I love my dogs. I have a Great Dane and a Pit Bull, and I'm always, you know, doing stuff with them. I like to play disc golf. I love sports. I grew up playing baseball, played throughout high school. Basketball is probably my favorite sport. I wasn't very good at it, but I'll go to the games and I like to watch, and I'll play for sure. I mean, if we're at the MAC or the Y or whatever, you know, I'm always down to play pickup. All sports in general, to be honest. I'm a big competitor. I like to compete, I like to win. It's okay not to win though.
Yeah. But you would rather win.
I would rather win for sure. Oh yeah.
Awesome. So win or lose this election, do you see yourself involved in politics in the future?
Yes, of course. I think that this election has given me such a insight to what really goes on in a campaign. Like I said, I kind of just jumped in it and was like, I paid my $100. I'm not a felon. I'm running for mayor. And you know, I got a couple of phone calls actually. This doesn't really have to do with the question, but I thought it was funny. And I get this phone call and he's like, well, you know, if you're first on the ballot, that's like 10% of the votes, like usually somewhere around there. And I was like, so they're like, if I'm not taking this serious, there's gonna be a lot of old guys that are gonna be upset with me. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, irrelevant, because you know, whoever's running is running. There's like, even if it was Dr. Phil on the top of the, you know, they can't change it. Yeah. So I just thought it was funny. I don't even know how that got in the question, but whatever.
So now you're on the top of the ballot.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I was so glad I wasn't, just because I was like, I want to run this race fair, but I don't want just the top 10% to come to me just because I was first on the ballot. You know, I want people to either know me or who I am, or know someone that does. These guys had said the same thing about, you know, I know you're not very active with your campaign on social media and stuff like that, and you know, like I said, I really wasn't prepared for what all I needed to get done for this. I just wanted to run with my name and word of mouth and people that know me, and maybe that kind of picked up pace and whatnot. But that's to me a little bit more authentic. Whether you know someone, you can say, you can vouch for them, yeah, he's a hard worker. But if you see I'm a hard worker on a sign, you know, with my finger up, like, let's go, like, that doesn't do so much for me personally. I want to know the person. I want to know that, yeah, he would give me the shirt off his back, like, and I would, like, you know, I don't need to say I've done it before, but yeah. It's just something I would do. Nice.
So with your campaign, what are some of the biggest issues maybe that you want to address or that you feel like is important to you personally?
So I think a big part is the COVID thing. Like I said, I just want people to be on the same page. I'm always the middleman in listening, so I've seen the side where, you know, I'm not taking the vaccine, I'm not going to wear the mask, and I've seen the side, like, mask on, you know, mask on. But whether it's either or, we got to, the non-masker, please mask when the people that are asking to mask, and if the masker wants to be somewhere where people are non-masking, I mean, gotta go somewhere else. Like, let's just like work together, you know. And then another thing, you know, I'm big on the street stuff. Where I live, they're actually not too bad. I live right by South Davis, but I know where my dad lives. He lives on like Collins area, east side. You know, they just haven't really been attended to. So that's something I want to tackle, or would want to tackle. And then, of course, the tax situation. Property taxes, I would like to lessen those. Personally, I don't know how I would do that, but I know a group of us could get together and maybe like brainstorm some stuff. But I know personally I've been struggling with mortgage because of my property taxes that got thrown into escrow and all this stuff. But even, I don't know if I said that right, but property taxes nailed me a little bit. Got it. But those are some things, but mainly, like, my sole purpose is just to serve. Like, I just want to be the voice for the average Arlington citizen, and the guy that you're going to see out there working, you know, serving food at the soup place, you know, picking up trash with the guys who are picking up trash for community, like, whatever. I'm willing to put in the time and work that I know some people would rather not do, and they would rather, you know, sit and sign papers or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I want to serve. I'm a do kind of guy. So that would be my answer, mainly for that. Like, everything else, I really don't know, but I know I'm willing to work hard and work hard for the city of Arlington, because that's all I know. That's really all I know.
Good. So you said that you kind of know Jeff Williams from, you know, church and everything like that. How do you think about his performance as mayor?
I think his performance has been outstanding. And this is just an example, which I don't know if it even relates, but he came by my office, not for me, but he came by our office in downtown Fort Worth for, probably had to talk to someone in the building. And I didn't even think about it. I said, "Hey Jeff, how are you?" And all these people that were like walking up to him saying, "Mr. Mayor," you know, all this, they all looked at me like, "Did you just call him Jeff?"
Yeah.
And, you know, I like shook his hand and, you know, did my thing and went off. But he never said anything to me. Like, he didn't even change his demeanor. He was, that's the kind of people that I like to be around, is like humble, like just caring. Jeff's a really caring person. He cares about people, and he works hard. Jeff is a really hard worker. Mr. Mayor Williams, sorry. Yeah, I think he did an outstanding job, and I would assume he would maybe go on to try and do more, like governor or
Nice.
president, whatever.
All right, so we talked a little bit about East Arlington. Most of East Arlington is made up of Black and Hispanic people. How can leadership prevent gentrification while still making sure that the area receives renovations?
What is gentrification?
Gentrification is basically the process of people coming into areas that are, what's the word? I don't want to say like impoverished kind of, or like low income, and the buildings that they have, they tear them down and build them up, but they build them at higher pricing, so it's pushing those people that are already there out because they can't afford that higher pricing.
So what was the question exactly?
Basically, how do we prevent that from happening while still making sure renovations are needed?
Yeah, I mean, it's businesses personally. So like you're saying, like they're putting apartment buildings instead of and knocking down like houses.
Yeah, or they like take someone's house that can't afford it, or let's say that you have a woman who owns her house and it's a little bit low income, and then next to it you have another person and it's low income. They decide to sell their house. The person that buys it, they come in and build this extremely high-priced house, let's say 4 times more than this lady's house.
Okay.
She can't now afford her property taxes because they went up because of this person, so they're basically kind of moving her out.
Okay. No, that's not acceptable. I come from, you know, low income, and just because they're low income doesn't mean that they don't work their ass off. Like, they deserve what they bought, you know, initially, or rent or whatever. You know, we got to work that out, because that's just unacceptable to me. You know, people deserve what's right, and they deserve to be treated right, and that's just what I'm about. And so I don't really have a solution for it, but I know that that's something I would be cool with. It's you know, I had to move out of my house when I was young just because my mom couldn't pay to fix the plumbing. And so just like stuff like that, you know, I'm not gonna say like that's the same instance, but we want to try and work around stuff like that, because, you know, I mean, it's our people, you know. So I want to take care of people of Arlington as much as I can. I'm not trying to take money out of people's pockets, but there's a fine line between making money and you know, treating people right, and I'm on the treating people right side.
Awesome. All right, so do you listen to any hip-hop music?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, a lot. Are you familiar with any Arlington, like, rappers, artists, anything?
Arlington rappers. You give me would I know one?
So let's say Splurge, Cincy Molly.
No idea.
No. well, these are some Arlington rappers. So the city of Arlington is known for supporting more artists that come from different genres. So, for example, Maren Morris. She received in a proclamation from Mayor Jeff Williams. How could Arlington's hip-hop culture artists such as Spurge, Cincy Molly, The Vibrant, Nojo Wallace, Newbie Mac, Measy Main, Free Game Griff, Gucci Boy Melv, how can they...
Are they all in Arlington?
Yeah, there's a lot. We have
Wow.
like 15 on here.
Nice.
How can they receive the same support from the city?
I mean, I don't know how Maren Morris got it. Like, did she ask or?
No, I think that the Mayor Williams just gave it to her.
He just gave it to her.
Wow, like a day, like, you know, to celebrate her in the city.
Yeah, well, you just ask, and we need to put some kind of, like, not scholarships, but funds for rising stars in Arlington, whether it be, you know, rappers, like artists, painters, you know, we need to support our community and our creative community. I was an advertising major, so creativity is what, you know, is blah 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 is what I care about. I like, you know, I don't like the easy way. I like the creative way, and that's what always caught my eye, and it's probably what catches everybody else's. You know, you don't like to see the same thing over and over again, and that's why, you know, unfortunately 6ix9ine got so crazy.
So who's your favorite hip hop artist?
My favorite hip hop artist, I like J. Cole.
Okay. Alrighty, so we talked a little bit about taxes. Arlington residents and business owners have expressed frustration about the increased taxes. So have you as well. Do you have any solutions maybe that could lower taxes or decrease concern?
I have no ideas, but I know that I am just off that last thing, I'm a creative person and we can do something. Like, personally, like, I don't have anything off the top of my head right now, but if we got together, I mean, that's something that we have to tackle. My property taxes were ridiculous to the point where, you know, I have like $100 left over for food kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, I got myself into that situation, but I also didn't know my property taxes were going to fluctuate this much, you know. So we need to have a little bit more of a, like, consistent tax, like, form or whatever that stays consistent with the city of Arlington, so we know what's coming, you know, or we should at least know that it is coming, so we can prepare. And as for like a solution, I just think Arlington as a whole is so robust and has so many people that if we want to generate income or anything, we can do that so easily. And Arlington is, like you said, is creative, and it's growing youthfully. Downtown is growing, and with all this going on, I think even like the students, we could easily generate money for the areas we need to, you know, associate them to with creative ideas and willing people to, you know, put in the work.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so do you have any plans for small businesses across Arlington?
I've done.
No?
But no, that was, sorry. You know, I had a small business. You know, you really need to know what you're getting yourself into. But I think we should be able to help support, not necessarily support them to the point where we're the only support. We should be able to have some kind of like bonds or whatever they're called, where you're able to grants, small grants and stuff for small businesses. But we would have to have some kind of like team to go through these business plans and say, okay, this one, you know, makes sense. This one like needs some work, but let's work with these small businesses to where, like, you know, we can get them what they need to get going.
Yeah.
We're not the lifeline, because the lifeline is you behind your business. You need to care about what you're doing before we care about what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
what problems did you face in your small business?
I cared what I was doing way too much,
Yeah.
and I just went straight into it. You know, I had about so much money on the side that I was like, I'm going to put this money to this business. And then I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'm going to get this credit card and put all this money to the business as well. Well, when not enough revenue was coming in to supply my initial capital investment, then I was paying off the credit card with the revenue that was coming in. And then the capital investment, that money was just obviously always gone. It just never came back. So now I'm just stuck kind of trying to get my revenue to pay off my credit cards. I want to start new. I want to, get a better business plan. I need to keep better books. It's just a lot that goes into a business that that I didn't know personally. And it's a live and learn kind of thing. My whole life has been live and learn. I've made millions of mistakes, and that's life.
Do you think that the city can help small business owners more, educate them on certain things that could have helped you? I
think if we had this Create Arlington thing, I think it was a brilliant idea. I think it was Mark Drukel or somebody that did it, but just being able to give people somewhere to go get information or to network or to do whatever, that's such a big part of being a human, is like interacting with other people and helping each other. What was the question? I forgot.
If you think that the city can help small businesses.
Oh yeah, it would be pretty beneficial to have like a night, a week, or maybe like a month, like a small business council or whatever, the people that are interested in like starting their own, like what questions do you have? Today we're going to go over how you should file for a copyright or LLC, or what kind of company you is specific to your company you should file as, or this is what the trademark you need, or there's all kinds of stuff that go into a business that I personally had questions to, and I just ended up doing all of them because I was like, I don't know. Yeah. I got a copyrighted trademark and it was an LLC, but I just didn't need them all. Yeah. And if I would have had this insight, I would have saved a lot more money, and I would have been way more on track. So it's like some kind of informational stuff for people with businesses, taxes. I think if we just had a group of people that got together and each week we did maybe something different, whether it be small business one week, Arlington taxes the next week, sports, whatever it may be, but is beneficial to the city, to the people in the city. I think just small things like that would go a long way.
All right, so the overall crime rate in Arlington has decreased, but violent crime is rising. How do you think that this issue for violent crime can be fixed?
I don't know. That's got to be a mental thing, right? So like off the top of my head, I don't know. If I were to just kind of go off onto a tangent, I maybe would say like we need to do some kind of, I know with COVID, people's mental has been going off too. Maybe like some kind of building that keeps all these people, no, just kidding. Some kind of psychiatric ward, like just like a place that people can go to talk to people. I don't really know what that's called, but maybe that might be beneficial with COVID and with people's mental going off. But I don't know how to keep crazy people from going crazy. You know what I mean? Like I would hope that people aren't doing things like that, but at the end of the day, I'm only can control myself. So that would be something that I needed to look into.
Got you. All right. So it says here, Arlington's apartment rental rates and cost of living have increased over the past decade, even though pay wages have not increased. If you were elected, would you make affordable housing a priority?
Yeah, of course. How would I do that? I don't know. Another thing I would have to look into. But like I've said, but people need to be aware, like, what's affordable for them, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying you need to live in a dump, but, you know, if you have a lower income job, you're not going to be living in a mansion, and we just need to be realistic with what our means are. But I'm going to be realistic with anybody's means, you know. If you're low income, we still want you in a, you know, I want you to be safe. I want you to feel safe. I want you to have a roof over your head, over your kid's head. You know, I want you to be happy. I want all these good things for you. It's just not going to be in a mansion, but we're going to figure it out.
Alrighty, so one of our last Arlington Urban questions is, if you were elected, where do you want to see Arlington by the time you leave office?
Where?
Yes.
I just want people to be happy. I don't know where. I mean, I think Arlington's awesome. I just want people to be happy. I think that's a big part of life. That's what life's about. Yeah, that's really it. You know, I just want to make people happy and proud. You know. But I do want to say this. This is just something that I always think of, and I always go back to it when I'm talking. Is I read this book one time, and he said, you know, if you really think about it, we're here for each other. Like, humans are here for each other. Whether, you know, you're white, black, brown, man, woman, whatever. Whether you believe in Adam and Eve, you know, two holy antelopes, or Buddha, or whatever. If these two people that started the world or whatever didn't get along and they killed each other, where would we be? They obviously had to work together to get another one, and then for them to keep going, you know what I mean? So at some point, we were all able to do it, and that's what life's about, is like working with each other, supporting each other, because if it's about bringing each other down, we wouldn't all be here, you know what I mean? So
Nice.
that's that.
All right, so we do have some viewer questions real quick. Pull these up.
Viewer?
Yes, viewer questions.
Nice.
All right, so we have 3 of them total. Our first one is going to be from Arlington Urban viewer and Arlington Urban rapper Free Game Griff. He asked, what would make your time in office unique?
The comedy. I mean, yeah. They're gonna ask me some questions. I'm gonna answer them in a joke, and then right after I say, I'm gonna say, I'm just kidding, and people are gonna be like, oh my God, what did he say? And I'm gonna be like, get over it.
Yeah.
Like,
So people gotta have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I mean that. Yeah, that's what, you know. If you don't have fun and laugh in life, I don't want to be around you.
Exactly. Alrighty, so our next question is going to be from Arlington Urban viewer D. Powell. How do you plan to incorporate the city's plans of creating safe and inclusive spaces, local markets and grocers, and community hubs for people of color to feel safe in the downtown Arlington area?
Honestly, it's going to be, personally, I would feel like it'd be on a business-to-business basis. You know, I don't want to tell people what to do. I will do it at one point if I have to, but why should it ever come to that? You know, again, we should be able to understand each other as human beings, and if this business wants people not to wear a mask, then go somewhere else. Like, if they're saying mask only, mask up if you want to eat there or swim there or whatever the business is, you know. Let's just work together and not try to argue and think that my opinion's more important than yours, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then this last question is going to be from Livable Arlington. They asked, in the years since gas drilling started, a lot of peer-reviewed research has been done pointing at serious health issues from living next to drilling. Many Arlington residents have raised concern about living next to fracking pollution. What steps can you take to address this public health issue?
So I actually work for an oil and gas company, and I personally don't know of those things happening, but that's something, if it is, it's something that we need to research and definitely get taken care of. And so what were they saying? Like,
basically, how can you address the health issues of living next to fracking pollution?
so we'll have to a bigger parameter, at least for, I don't know what the distance is from the fracking to like a residential area or whatever it is, but if that's the case and it's really polluting and hurting people's health, I mean, there needs to be a bigger circumference between the, the fracking area and the residential areas. And like I said before, people trump money in my book all day, every day. So if your fracking has to go in this one spot, you're gonna have to take it elsewhere. If it's up to me, at the end of the day, I don't even know if I have a say in telling people where they can and can't frack. But if I do, and it's causing issues to my people, they're gonna have to fight the law. You feel me? No.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that you want to say to reviewers, where they can find you at, more information, anything? I
just want to say how impressed I am with Arlington Urban Media. These guys came in here, set up, and I love y'all's vibe. And yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.